That's it, Brian?
Yes.
Bet you're looking for something new.
Alright, what's up everybody, and welcome to the channel again, and boy do I have something for you. So yesterday, Milweezy and I had a discussion about, our video response discussion about why we think League of Legends is dying. Alright, now, in that video, or in those two videos, Milweezy and I definitely both agree that yes, League is dying, and yes, there are reasons for it. Alright, some of it just being the fact that the game, it's kind of the same. It's literally the same game every time. You just have different champions and all that stuff, right? It's literally the same game every time. And we both brought out a lot of good points about like the changes that they have made, when deferring from what used to be working, and the changes that they have now. It's just not working, right? There's a lot that's wrong with it, and it's barely redeemable, at least in my opinion, for Riot Games. Now, on to today's subject, right? Today's subject is who is getting out of groups for Worlds. All right. And Milweezy, I know Milweezy and I are going to see differently on this. On a lot of these, on 3 of these groups. I think 3 of these groups, Milweezy and I will actually see differently. And that is groups B, C, and D. I do believe the only one that we will see eye to eye on is Group C of those 3, maybe. But I think Group B and D, he and I will both see differently. So, without further ado, got my little notes up. Yes, it's still one of my little moto books for those of you that know. But let's get to it. So, before we get into actual groups, I would like to know that groups for Worlds is actually not solidified yet. There is a play-in stage for 12 teams to try to make it into actual groups. All right. So I will talk about the play-in stage first, and then I will talk about groups. So, play-in stage, right? I did make a first video, and I thought it was fine, and then it turned out to be 36 minutes long. So I'm trying to make this one faster, and I had made myself some pizza. So hold on. Some nom noms. All right. So let's get into that. So, play-in stage groups, right? You have 4 groups for that, and 3 teams in each, right? You have Edward Gaming, right? Edward Gaming is the 3rd seat from China, and they are up against Infinity Esports and Dire Wolves. I think we can all agree that Edward Gaming is going to pull out of this play-in stage just fine against Infinity Esports, who's from Latin America North, and Dire Wolves, who is from the Oceania server, Oceania, whatever, Ocean whatever server, right? Edward Gaming is going to pull out just fine. G2 Esports, Supermassive, and Ascension Gaming. G2 Esports from Europe, and I do think Supermassive Gaming is worth noting here. Supermassive Gaming is from Turkey, and we have seen Turkey in MSI before. We have seen Turkey in groups before. I think that G2 will still pull out from playing stage and go into actual groups, but I do think that if anybody else has a chance, it's going to be Supermassive Esports here in this. Group C, we have Cloud9, Kaboom Esports, and Detonation Focus Me. Cloud9 should be able to come out of this group just fine, but it is worth noting that Brazil has their team Kaboom Esports here. We have seen Brazil pull out of groups before. Believe that? No, they did not. But they did have wins in groups before. So, I do think Brazil might shake it up for Cloud9, but I do think Cloud9 is still going to win this group. And then for the final play-in group, Group D is G-Rex, and G-Rex is coming from Taiwan, Hong Kong region. Gambit Esports coming in from CIS and Chaos Latin Gamers. Chaos Latin Gamers is one of the Latin American teams. Gambit uh, is the CIS team, and G-Rex, the Taiwan Hong Kong team. I think G-Rex will come out just fine, but I do also think it's worth noting that Gambit Esports will probably give them a run for their money here. Um, so that being said, I don't know how those teams will get placed into groups from playing stage. So I'm only going to be talking about 3 teams in each of the groups when I'm talking about groups. And without further ado, let's hop into that. So Group A, we have Flash Wolves, a Freak of Freaks, and Fong Vu. Um, I think this is pretty safer to say for everybody that Flash Wolves and a Freak of Freaks will definitely just pull it out here. Um, Flash Wolves is from the Taiwan, Hong Kong region, the LMS, and Freak of Freaks is the championship points, second seat from Korea. It's pretty safe to say that these teams are making it out. And that is simply because Phong Vu is a Vietnamese team that has made it in to groups. And I think that Vietnamese team is just going to lack experience here. I don't think that they're going to have that strong of a chance to even to even have a win in this group. Even if Cloud9 or a different team came in, I think that Fongbu they might pull a win out of their booty hole somewhere, but I think it's pretty safe to say that Flash Wolves bringing in names such as Maple and Sword Art, and the fact that they were the LMS Summer Champions, I think it's just safe to say that Flash Wolves, a Freak of Freaks, they're just gonna make it. A Freak of Freaks is bringing in a huge roster. Um, I did a little bit of research into this team because I didn't know too much about them. But Kuro, their mid laner, I think he brings a huge champion pool. In the playoffs against KT Rolster, they went 4 games and won 3 of them. He played Galio, Yasuo, Vel'Koz, and Karma, and that is a pretty huge champion pool right there. You got a tank mage team fighter Galio. You got an assassin split pusher Yasuo, right? Vel'Koz. You have your artillery mage, and you have your utility mage Karma. Or sorry, Vel'Koz, your artillery mage, and Karma, your utility mage. I think he has a great champion pool, and he was playing well on Yasuo early game. His mid game was very weak. The Galio in that game that I saw just didn't seem that strong of a pick, but it was still decent. His Vel'Koz and Karma were doing pretty well. And I will talk more about a Freak of Freaks later on when I get into Group C. So, Group B. Group B, we have RNG, Gen.G, and Vitality. Royal Never Give Up. Big team to talk about, right? Um, the summer champions for the Chinese server. I do believe that it will be RNG that pulls out of this group just fine. And I think Milweezy will say that Gen.G pulls out of this group. But I think that Invictus Gaming will pull out from this group. I think China will overthrow Korea's Gen.G for this group. I think Group B is not a place that Cloud9 wants to go if they pull out. I think Cloud9 should hope for Group A. So Vitality. Oh wait, did I say Invictus earlier? Sorry. Vitality is Europe's team. Gen.G is Korea's regional team. They're seat 3, and RNG is China's number 1 seat for the Summer Champions. Sorry if I messed that up. I think I did. So anyway, I do think Vitality from Europe has been holding themselves together just fine. That I do think that they can beat Korea's uh, third seed regional finals. It's not by much me saying that. It's probably like 52 to 48 percentage. But I do think Vitality has what it takes. I do think Royal Never Give Up is gonna obviously blow it out of the water. They have Uzi, they have Ming, they have Let Me for their top laner. Big names to talk about. All three of these people have been on the roster since last year, and I think that Royal Never Give Up just has a great chance this year. Gen G, I don't think that they'll be able to hold it together completely. But they did make their regional finals. They did win that. So it's a hard toss up here, but I will give it to Vitality. Group C. Group C, I think that Milweezy and I have a chance of having the same guesses here, but I think it's slim because I don't know how Milweezy feels about Team Liquid. Group C, we have KT Rolster, we have Mad Team, and we have Team Liquid, and the fourth spot to be determined, like I said. All right, KT Rolster, Summer Champions, Korea, right? Do I need to say more? Like these guys have been shredding it, and I think that they will do just fine and pull it out of groups. Mad Team is LMS, the championship points. I do think that that is a solid looking team. I think they do pose a real big threat. I do think that Team Liquid has a shot here. You have Soaz, you have Double Lift, you have Ole who's doing well for Double Lift, you have Smithy, and you have Pobelter. And against KT Rolster, right, who's bringing in other big names, they have Mata, they have Deft, Pawn, Rush. Yo, okay, so Rush was playing insane in the playoffs. He had Baron steals. He was team fighting well. He was getting picks. He was doing a lot. I think he got caught out like one time from the LCK playoffs from what I saw. Right. If I were to put a guess right now, I would say that KT Rolster is gonna make it. It's not that hard to say that they will pull out of groups, but I think that they have a shot of winning Worlds. Now I did say I was gonna bring up a Freak of Freaks later. I think KT Rolster would lose to a Freak of Freaks, but I don't think that if a Freak of Freaks beat KT Rolster, that they would win Worlds. KT Rolster is just looking and saying they got Def, Smeb, Mata, Rush was just out of his mind on LCK playoffs. Team Liquid, you do have Double Lift, you do have Soaz, and I think it's going to come down onto them to try to carry their team. Not that Soaz will actually carry. It depends on what champions they want to roll, but it's going to come down to Double Lift. It's going to come down to Double Lift not tilting. It's going to come down to Smithy setting it up and Pobelter setting it up. Smithy and Pobelter are good, but I do think they can mess up easy. And then Ole's been doing just fine for Double Lift. Double Lift makes he has a high demand for support. All right, Aframo was talking about that. I do think that Team Liquid will come out of this group with KT Rolster. I do think that Team Liquid will best Mad Team. I believe I said Soaz earlier for top laner on Team Liquid, and I definitely meant Impact because Soaz is definitely on Fnatic. So I'm an idiot there. Group D. Now Group D, I know that Milweezy is gonna call me out for being an Afromoo little fanboy, but let me tell you why I think 100 Thieves will come out of this group. All right, you have Fnatic, you have 100 Thieves, and you have Invictus Gaming. Fnatic, I love Fnatic. I really do. Their comeback story last year was insane. Reckless has always been a noteworthy ADC, but I don't think that this year, with what we were talking about yesterday on Why League is Dying, I don't think that Fnatic will actually come out of this group. I think it will be Invictus Gaming, the championship points from China, the second seat, and I will think it will be 100 Thieves, the championship points from NA, the second seat. I don't think Fnatic has what it takes to overthrow these two guys. Okay, so let me get into it. So Aframu, I think, has a presence among his team that he can steer them, keep them calm, keep them focused, and make a win. I think that if 100 Thieves gets a lead, Aframu can steer them to take that lead and win a game. The only thing is, I think Aframu has swayed from making insane plays from his like rookie days. All right. So if his team falls behind, he's not going to want to make these comeback plays. I don't think he's going to want to do that. And I think that's where 100 Thieves is probably going to be weak. All right. But I do still believe that should they get a lead, that they can roll with it. Fnatic versus Invictus. Now, Fnatic, I believe, is a bottom lane oriented team. Fnatic and Invictus Gaming. You have two beasts in the top lane. We have Duke and we have Soaz. And I think that's an even matchup. I don't know how Bwipo is. All right, I think he's a rookie top laner for Fnatic. I think that's just two giants in the top lane, right? And then you got Caps mid lane, and then Invictus Gaming has Rookie mid lane. And I think Rookie would win against Caps. When we're talking about bottom lane, I think that Reckless versus Jackie Love from Invictus, I think that Reckless wins. The thing is with all these ADC support nerfs that Louise and I were talking about in our videos yesterday, I've got to give it to Invictus. You know, I just don't think that the ADC support roles can outmatch what the mid laner needs. And with my vote going towards Rookie over Caps, I think it's gonna be Invictus Gaming that comes out of this group. And I guarantee you that Milweezy is sitting there shaking his head saying that it's gonna be Fnatic and Invictus coming out of this group. And I bet you Milweezy doesn't even say 100 Thieves comes out of this group. Those are my thoughts on all this. I will make another video later on about what I think groups will look like at the end of all things. Once play-ins happens this week, I will make a video about who I think will come out of groups for sure when groups is solidified. But for right now, that is my guess, and I want to see what Milweezy says about it. I know he was hassling me up a little bit about who's gonna make it or not. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. You all can give me all the hate about Aframu that you want, but he didn't get MVP of the season for no reason from NA. You can't overlook Aframu ever. All right, you can't. He is a threat. Yeah, sure. Maybe I'm an Aframu fanboy, but it does come with some backup, with some actual like stats and everything. So, like I said, let me know what you think. And as always, hey, you all have a good day. All right, and good luck out there on the Rift. All right.